The item in question is a baseball with significant historical value, dating back to 1934. Originally obtained by the guest's great-aunt, who lived in Japan before World War II. The baseball was autographed by an all-star team from the United States. The team consisted of 14 players, coaches, and staff who played 18 games in Japan. The baseball boasts 19 signatures, including legends such as Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
Before this barnstorming tour, but at that time they were against college and amateur teams.
One notable incident involved Babe Ruth being asked to sign baseballs, resulting in around a dozen signed balls being handed out. With only a handful known to exist, its auction value is estimated to be,
I would put a value of this baseball at auction at $40,000.
Oh my God.
To $60,000.
Holy smoke.
And you want to insure it for $75,000.
Oh my God.
Has shown two historically significant comic books, Action Comics number 1 and Detective Comics number 27, marking the first appearances of Superman and Batman, respectively.
Batman is the same, although Batman is darker. In Batman, there's not just the fight against evil, but also, I think, a desire to redeem.
Initially a completist collector, he acquired these key books for their historical significance around 10 to 15 years ago. The appraiser discusses the cultural impact of the Superman and Batman, particularly with the creators being Jewish immigrants, amidst the rise of Hitler. Action Comics number 1, featuring Superman's debut, is described as the most important comic book in history, marking the dawn of the golden age of comics.
Superman was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in the basement of Jerry Siegel's house in Cleveland. And what I find fascinating, they originally had him as a villain.
He paid approximately $55,000 for Action Comics number 1 and $40,000 to $45,000 for Detective Comics number 27. Both comics have been restored, enhancing their condition and value. In its restored state, Detective Comics number 27 is estimated to be worth between,
an auction estimate is going to be somewhere between $200,000 and $250,000.
while Action Comics number 1 is estimated at,
An auction estimate probably somewhere at least $175,000 to $225,000.
if they were in their original condition, their values could significantly increase from $800,000 to $900,000 each.
My socks go up and down of joy. Thank you, socks.
A guest showcased a shotgun, once owned by his great-great-grandfather, Charles Porter Maddox, who had fought in the Civil War. Maddox, renowned for his service, had joined the prestigious 1st U.S. Burdens Sharpshooters and also participated in the Battle of Sailor's Creek.
There, Custer's cavalry captures over 300 wagons, and your ancestor leads a charge that not only won 2 Confederate battle flags, it also secured these wagons.
The appraiser emphasized his remarkable involvement and provided historical context on Confederate General James Longstreet. The shotgun, crafted by the esteemed Mortimer between 1840 and 1854, boasted intricate engravings on the banknote, locks, tang, and butt plate, elevating it to a high-grade status beyond most firearms of its time. Its Civil War provenance and association with prominent figures warranted a conservative auction estimate, which greatly intrigued the guest.
The lowest number we came up with for a low estimate at auction was $50,000.
Oh.
Passion for art can take you many places, even a dumpster, which is where our guest acquired these posters.
In New York, and they were throwing things out, and so they were a dumpster dive.
These posters originate from Puerto Rico, dating back to the mid-19th century. They were created via the silkscreen process by some renowned Puerto Rican artists who helped create the Puerto Rican poster movement in the 1950s, including Rafael Tufino, Carlos Raquel Riviera, and Lorenzo Omar Gelabert. The posters advertise various things, which gives a view into Puerto Rican life in the 1950s. At an auction, their collective value is estimated at,
the total estimate is $4,500 to $6,600 just for these 6.
Okay, all right, great. That's good news.
The item presented is a mobile by Alexander Calder, gifted to the guest's aunt in 1958. The backstory is unique. During a cocktail party, the aunt impressed Calder with a needlepoint pillow of his work, prompting him to gift her the mobile. The mobile, likely from the early 1940s, showcases Calder's pioneering artistry. Made with thin wire and a colorful aluminum or anodized materials, it's delicately balanced with primary colors, showcasing Calder's signature style. Over the years, the mobile underwent a slight restoration in 1986 to touch up its colors. The backstory, documentation, and Calder's significance enhance its value. Recent valuations for this amazing piece at auction are placed in
At all inconceivable that this very small, wonderful piece of art could probably break $1 million.
Oh my God.
exquisite Karl Luber tile, crafted by the renowned firm of Johann von Schwarz, was acquired by our guest for $1.99 to adorn her bar. Dating back to the 1900s, this German masterpiece showcases its generous size and intricate raised walls, which boldly displays its gleaming glaze. Notably, it features a hand-painted depiction, possibly of a hand and a face, adding to its allure. Additionally, it comes with a tray mount, although minor scratches may be present due to its decorative use over time.
Mount, it's in beautiful condition, so somebody who had it for their bar didn't use it, thankfully.
Despite this, its vibrant glaze and artistic charm ensure that it brings a value of
At auction, this would probably be somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500.
Wow. Oh gosh, that's great. I can't believe it.
The guest brought in a captivating oil painting by Buck Denton, a famous illustrator and adventurer. The guest's great-grandfather, a co-founder of the New York Anglers Club and an editor for Forest and Stream magazine, received the painting directly from the artist in 1909. Dunton was a successful illustrator who worked for prestigious publications like Field and Stream, Harper's, and Scribner's. He also illustrated book covers, most notably for Zane Grey. Dunton craved adventure and first-hand experience of the Wild West. He regularly went on expeditions and documented his experiences through both writing and illustration. The painting itself was determined to be from the golden age of illustration and created as an illustration for an unknown publication. You can see the masterful use of light and color to draw the viewer's eye to the corner of the composition and engage them in the narrative. The meticulous planning and symbolism employed by the artist were evident throughout the piece. In its present condition, at an auction, the estimated price of the painting is
At auction, a reasonable estimate would be $50,000 to $70,000.
Wow.
The guest received a delightful surprise when her childhood toy, a wind-up tin traveling set featuring Henry and Henrietta from the comics, was revealed to be a valuable collector's item. The toy was made in Japan during the 1930s. It was constructed from celluloid, a delicate plastic material popular during that era, but no longer in use today. Celluloid was known for its flammability and became a safety hazard as better plastics were developed. However, it also had the advantage of being able to retain fine details, which is evident in the intricate painted features of Henry and Henrietta on the toy. The item is incredibly rare due to the fragile nature of celluloid, and the fact that the toy came with its original box, marked with the initials CK of the manufacturer. While the identity of the manufacturer remains uncertain, the presence of the original box significantly increases the collectible value of the toy. The guest revealed that she received the toy as a token of appreciation from a friend whom she used to drive around. The estimated value of the toy at auction is
Well, this sells at auction for a minimum of $3,000.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding. This little thing?
This little thing.
Oh my gosh.
However, a much more recent appraisal saw the value of this item to be $600 to $800. The guest inherited a striking Art Deco bar cabinet from her father. While the guest was uncertain about the origin of the piece, it was identified as an important example of American 20th century design. Art Deco was a major artistic movement that emerged in Europe around 1900 and later flourished in the United States during the 1920s and 1930s. Characterized by bold geometric shapes, bright colors, and the use of modern materials like chrome and mirrored glass, Art Deco represented a departure from traditional design styles. While the identity of the manufacturer remained unknown, the piece embodied the essence of Art Deco with its shiny surfaces, mirrored interior, and overall flamboyance. However, interest in Art Deco had waned somewhat in recent years, but the sheer quality and aesthetic appeal of this particular piece transcended concerns about provenance. The value of this incredible piece sits at
auction today,
Yes.
this piece would probably bring $2,500 to $4,500.
Okay, cool.
Georgian Suite, dating back to around 1830, is a remarkable example of early 19th century jewelry. The set includes a brooch and a pair of ear pendants, all crafted from 14-karat gold. The stones are precious topaz, known for their intense color.
You can see throughout the open work mounting here. And the canateel work is the tiny little wires that are twisted sort of like honeycomb high.
Additionally, the design of the set is elegant and timeless, featuring a combination of canateel work and gold leaf motifs.
A little bit because something this old would have had more of a patina on it.
These pieces are designed to be both decorative and lightweight, making them suitable for special occasions, and are valued at
Well, I would say for auction purposes, you would be looking at about $2,500 to $3,500 auction estimate.
Wow.
Yes.
A nice investment, isn't it?
I would say so.
Wow.
Based on the show is the Tennessee Wall Pocket, a unique piece crafted at the turn of the century, which holds a story as fascinating as its intricate design.
But as you see, we've got Presidents McKinley and Hobart here.
Right. McKinley, his pictures is here, and then
this is Vice President Hobart.
The wall pocket has 4 heart-shaped pockets made of pine cones stitched onto shoebox cardboard, one at a time.
Makes my heart sing.
I've looked at wall pockets all my life and all kinds of pine cone art, but I've never seen a wall pocket like this.
This piece was likely used to store sewing supplies or other small items. It has a distinctive outline with its intricate details, including scrolls reminiscent of a highboy's bonnet. Overall, this rare wall pocket adorned with intricate pinecone design and charming thread advertisements is valued at
least $5,000.
And I will gladly do that. That's amazing. I think about these pioneer women.
Set of Superman trading cards, released in 1940 by Gum Incorporated, captures the essence of the era with its vibrant illustrations and heroic themes.
Look for them individually because they're so rare. These cards were released in 1940, so especially with paper drives during World War II, the odds of them surviving are really, really tough.
One of the most coveted cards is the first in the set, showcasing Superman in all his iconic glory.
There's no way, even if this card, when it was printed in 1940, it wouldn't be a 10 out of 10 because of the margin right here. So you can see how this margin is definitely and very obviously a lot thinner than.
The historical significance of these cards cannot be overstated, as they not only reflect the popularity of the character, but also provide a glimpse into the cultural landscape of the time, and at auction would fetch.
For the entire collection in today's world at auction, including the #1 card, you'd be looking at $2,500 to $3,500. No, it's Superman!
One by getting Paul Newman to call in for a radio contest, leveraging their connection from catering his charity events. A 1970 Corvette Stingray signed by Paul Newman is a coveted collector's item, blending classic American muscle with Hollywood star power.
Board, and he did for me, and I have pictures of him doing the autographing of the dashboard.
It's just incredible because Paul Newman, one of America's greatest actors, is well known for being reclusive and private.
Paul Newman, famed for acting and successful auto racing.
So I asked him, and he remembered me from the years before, having helped him out with things at other parties that we've done.
The car's design echoed the sleek lines of the Mako Shark II concept, resembling a shark. The 1970 Corvette Stingray from the 3rd generation is known for its Coke bottle design, flared fenders, and power.
Last year of what they call high performance, before emissions took over some of the power of the car. It was one of the last years that they have chrome bumpers, because in '73 they start with the rubber bumpers.
The vehicle features the standard 350 basic motor. It is equipped with an automatic transmission, although manual transmissions were also available. A Paul Newman-signed Corvette turns a well-maintained car into Hollywood and racing history, greatly upping its value. With a knowing smile, the appraiser valued the item.
I would probably put $30,000 to $40,000 on this auction, and I would insure it for at least $65,000.
That's where I got it.
This woman acquired a background from a Walt Disney production, specifically from The Lady and the Tramp, made in 1955. It's a unique piece, hand-painted and adorned with several animated cells frolicking across the background. These cells are meticulously glued in place, enhancing the charm of the piece. With its vibrant colors and animated scenes, this painting, at auction, would sell for
something like this at auction would bring between $15,000 and $20,000.
Wow. Oh. My son might go to college.
The guest brought in a fascinating historical map, mistakenly believing it to be a treasure map. The map is a crucial piece of 18th century North American history. The map, created by Thomas Jeffries in 1775, played a vital role in documenting the vast territory acquired by Britain after the French and Indian War. Jeffries, the geographer to the British king, compiled a comprehensive atlas based on extensive surveys conducted in the mid-18th century. These meticulous surveys mapped the geography of the newly acquired land, providing valuable information about rivers, mountains, and natural resources. Jeffries' atlas included maps like the one brought in by the guest, which showcased the eastern coastline of North America. This map was essential for sailors navigating the often treacherous waters off the coast. The map meticulously charted water depths, listed compass bearings, and identified hazardous areas such as shoals and reefs. This information was critical for avoiding shipwrecks and ensuring safe passage. In addition to its practical value for navigation, the map also held historical significance. As the American Revolution loomed, both British and American forces utilized maps from Jeffries' atlas to plan their military strategies. The maps provided crucial information about landforms and transportation routes, which played a significant role in the movement of troops and supplies. Despite some foxing and staining, the estimated value is
you could add that value on, so really you have a map in perfect shape that has a retail value about $2,800.
Wow. Isn't that
so
something?
it is not a treasure map, but it is a treasure from
really?
American history.
Isn't that something? I never realized that. Yeah.
The allure of this acid-cut vase brings to life a symphony of delicate designs. We presented this vase by this guest who received it as a gift from a friend. Featuring a chrysanthemum design, this vase may appear to be of Chinese origin at first glance. This piece was made by the Steuben Company in America.
However, it's not. It's actually American.
Really?
It was made in upstate New York, in Corning, New York, at Steuben.
And was crafted in the late 1920s. There are 2 layers of glass in this vase, and its surface design was etched by acid cutting.
Very heavy piece. It's not uncommon for this to be unsigned. I looked it up. I found it in the line drawings. It has a shape number 6078.
This item is a testament to the craftsmanship and ingenuity of the early 20th century, estimated to be worth
retail shop. This would sell for between $3,000 and $3,500.
Wow.
The diamond ring from her great aunt. The value of it 11 years ago is $20,000. This emerald-cut diamond ring appeared to date back to the 1950s. 1950s jewelry exuded sophistication and glamour, mirroring post-war prosperity and optimism. It is a 4-carat diamond ring. The ring, like platinum or white gold, would highlight the diamond's brilliance with meticulous craftsmanship. The color as varying towards a pale yellowish hue while still being predominantly white. The diamond is being rated as a 1 for color and a VS2 for clarity. A symbol of timeless elegance, the appraiser valued the item.
So, in the market today, you're probably at almost $40,000.
Really?
So,
wow.
You've really got a treasure.
Brought a pair of porcelain vases his father purchased in Shanghai in 1937, later shipped to New York in 1941. The vases were kept in the family for years, and in 1998, the guest's mother moved to California, and the vases were packed away. The guest had the vases appraised at the Brooklyn Museum in 1998 and was told they might be over 150 years old and worth $50,000. However, the guest was unsure if this appraisal was accurate and didn't pursue further. The vases were made during the Republic period in China, 1912 to 1949, inspired by Qianlong pieces featuring the Qianlong's spurious mark.
It's a spurious mark. It's not a genuine mark of that period, but somebody looking at that would say, oh, it's Qinglong. It's the Qinglong style, and it's an honorific type of marking.
The vases were of high quality, with beautiful design and workmanship, and were in excellent condition. A testament to their enduring beauty and craftsmanship, this exquisite pair was appraised at.
But the Republic, as I say, an auction market price for this pair would be between $12,000 and $18,000.
Wow, that's
in
incredible.
Today's market.
Yeah, well, thank you for that.
Accompanied the advent of civilization. Our guest's grandfather embraced urban life, embodying the gentlemanly lifestyle. He acquired this jewelry set in San Diego during the 1930s.
Like the city, went back, told his brothers and his parents he was moving there, went to the gentleman that had polished him a little bit, and the gentleman either gave him this set or he purchased it. We don't know exactly.
These are gentleman Edwardian cufflinks and studs from Cartier, the renowned French luxury goods conglomerate founded in 1847 by Louis-François Cartier. Crafted during the early 20th century of the Edwardian era, these pieces consist of 14-karat gold and platinum settings adorned with rose-cut diamonds and a rounded top sapphire. The original Cartier box, bearing the iconic Cartier marking, further authenticates its origin and puts its auction value at.
Would wear it.
In a luxurious retail setting, this set would bring $12,000 to $15,000.
The love for music flourishes when complemented by a deep passion for its instruments. Our guest's grandfather passed down this particular instrument, imbibing it with special significance.
It was my grandfather's, and when he passed away, it came to my sister and I. He started playing in the 30s when he was a young man, and he played for us as we were kids. All through our growing up years when we get together, he would play with us.
This is a Gibson Mastertone tenor banjo, also known as the bella voce, which means beautiful voice. Crafted in the 1930s, this exquisite piece showcases intricate details, boasting gold plating from top to bottom and a tube and plate rim adorned with delicate carvings and engravings. Turning it over, one finds an immaculate design reflecting the period's aesthetic sensibilities. Moreover, a stamped patent and serial number further authenticate its origins.
But the rest of it is this very clear, shiny finish that we don't associate with 1930s.
All of these elements come together to verify the originality and authenticity of this piece, putting its value at
a retail value or a replacement value of about $15,000.
Oh my.
Our guest's grandmother, an avid collector of Posthast paintings, gave this piece to our guest's father, who subsequently passed it down to our guest.
Son and daughter, and I've seen these paintings since I was about 9 years old. My grandmother...
Edward Henry Potthast, an American Impressionist painter renowned for his marine landscapes, created this oil painting on canvas. Titled The Coast of Ogunquit, the painting depicts Ogunquit, Maine, and proudly bears the artist's signature, affirming its authenticity. We also have a listing of the paintings from the posthumous exhibition of artist's work from the Grand Central Art Galleries in New York. Dating back to the late 19th to early 20th century, this piece has been meticulously preserved and remains in excellent condition. It is estimated to possess an auction value of...
And for insurance, I'm going to value the painting at $25,000.
Wow.
A delightful relic, a petite icebox. Indeed, a hidden gem from the guest's relative's attic. It is a miniature icebox, perhaps a salesman's sample, a fully functional miniature used for showcasing.
Exactly
what the object would do. This is the largest one I've seen personally, and it's really attractive.
Ice would grace the top compartment, melting gracefully into the metal-lined interior. Intricate cast-iron hardware adorns its facade. Appraiser opens the door to reveal perforated shelves for optimal airflow. Despite its age, it's exquisitely crafted. This piece likely dates from the late 19th to early 20th century. At auction, it could fetch around.
I think this at auction could bring in the neighborhood of $3,000.
Oh, for goodness sake.
So it's sort of a nice thing to find in an attic.
The guest brought a mobile sculpture created by George Rickey in the late 1950s. The sculpture was commissioned by the guest's mother after seeing Rickey's work at an exhibit in New Orleans. Rickey, a professor at Tulane University, made the sculpture for the guest's mother for $150. The sculpture led a hard life, losing a few pieces along the way, but had always been treasured by the family. George Rickey was an interesting artist heavily influenced by Alexander Calder and worked in parallel to him. The mobile was a kinetic sculpture, meant to move with even the slightest breeze. If the sculpture was restored and connected to Rickey's workshop or diaries, its value could potentially increase. Despite being in poor condition, with some pieces missing and damage to the base, the appraiser estimated its value at auction to be,
Say, even in its condition as it is now, for auction, a conservative estimate would be between $10,000 and $15,000.
I'm overwhelmed. I really am surprised.
Considered a master of watercolor painting, this Copley Square painting was done by the American realist artist John Whorf, whose work remains popular with both critics and collectors. The painting captures a vibrant scene of Boston's St. James Avenue, featuring the iconic Boston Public Library and Trinity Church. However, Whorf's ability to capture the play of light and shadow adds a sense of realism and depth to the painting, which is valued at.
It is a watercolor. In an auction, we would suggest an estimate of $6,000 to $8,000.
Really?
Is a Mickey Mouse plush toy, crafted by the Steiff Company, based in Germany and renowned for production of plush toys. This item was a gift from the guest's favorite aunt back in the 1960s. Steiff's early pieces are highly sought after, and a Mickey Mouse plush in good condition from this era is particularly rare. Despite its age, this cherished teddy bear will sell for,
on the retail market today, it's worth between $3,500 and $4,500.
Oh my. Mickey, I love you.
presented with two regal vases, delicately crafted. These pieces were purchased by this guest from a couple of years back. Uniquely designed, both vases were hand-carved by students from the University of North Dakota, America.
Which is also kind of an unusual thing. We can show the mark on this one.
The vase's design depicts deer and some greenery. One of the vases has a lid, which is unusual for vases like this. Furthermore, at the base of each piece is the mark from the University of North Dakota. Although these pieces were crafted by students, they are remarkably in great condition, and at auction, each are estimated to be worth
Mill molded pieces. They would both have auction values of somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000 each.
Brought in a beautiful lamp that had been in her husband's family for generations. The lamp is a Duffner and Kimberly creation, dating between 1905 and 1911 based on the company's production period. Duffner and Kimberly were renowned lamp makers considered serious competitors to Louis Comfort Tiffany. The company was formed by a partnership between brass specialist Alfred Duffner and glass expert Oliver Kimberly. While the company was short-lived from 1905 to 1911, their lamps were known for their quality craftsmanship and aesthetics comparable to Tiffany lamps. The lamp possessed several key features that increased its value. The leaded glass shade was created using the Tiffany technique of copper foil and solder to join numerous pieces of stained glass. Its gilt bronze base was made of cast bronze plated with gold and featured an intricate design, possibly resembling a spider web. The overall design of the lamp embodied the neoclassical style popular during the early 20th century. characterized by symmetry and references to Greek and Roman art. The estimated value of the lamp is...
I would put an auction estimate on this of $15,000 to $20,000.
Wow.
So it's a very pretty lamp, and it could actually benefit from a little cleaning, and that would brighten up the look quite a bit.
Large demolition project, the guest and their brother stumbled upon a hidden treasure. It is a plaster model of Parthenia, a water nymph created by sculptor Isaac Broom. While the guest initially dismissed it as an ordinary portrait, it was revealed to be of great significance and artistic value. Isaac Broom was a renowned sculptor who immigrated from Canada and established himself in the Trenton, New Jersey area. He gained recognition for his work with the Ott and Brewer Company, creating beautiful pieces in Parian ware, including the celebrated baseball vase. Broom also became a prominent figure in tile modeling during the late 19th century. His works often featured classical figures, and Parthenia was one of his less common depictions of a mythological water nymph. Unlike most tiles of that era, which sported gold, amber, or green glazes, Parthenia was cast in an uncommon gray-blue color, a hallmark of Broom's work. The plaster model was likely intended to be a mold for creating multiple tiles meant to be incorporated into elaborate wall decorations such as fireplace surrounds or dados. The guest had inherited the piece with a later added brass frame, which showed some crazing but was overall in good condition considering its discovery buried underground. At an auction, this piece would easily fetch.
Would probably put a price on it of about $1,000 to $1,200.
Okay, oh, very good. Yeah, it's pretty good old lady picture, huh?
Looking portable box is what our guest brought today to the show. This piece was given to our guest by her mother. It's an English silver box, crafted circa 1972 by Gerald Benny. Benny was a British silver and goldsmith known for his innovative modernist designs. This particular box is silver with 18-karat gold knobs across the top, with its decorative scheme becoming quite famous amongst silversmiths.
New decorative schemes that really spoke about the period in which they were made, and I think to people who collect postmodern...
On the underside of the box, Benny's name is written, along with sterling and 18K. Another nice feature of this box is that it has a radially finished underside. This portable box, from one of Britain's most famous silversmiths, would be auctioned for...
At auction in London for £3,750, which would be around $6,000 at auction.
Right. Wow.
Inherited a collection of Native American items from their great-grandfather. He acquired the collection while running a government store among the Native Americans in Nebraska from 1871 to 1873. The collection included a parflecky trunk made of buffalo rawhide, painted with Chinese vermilion and charcoal, dating back to the 1830s or 1840s. A possible bag made of buffalo hide and decorated with 3 different sizes of beads dated back to the 1840s. An elk antler quirt, used as a horsewhip, had iconography including military figures and a tally of hides. With its rich history and craftsmanship, the parflecky trunk was estimated to fetch a significant sum, estimated at...
And conservatively, I'm going to put an estimate of $50,000 to $70,000 on it.
Oh my word. I'm just blown away.
Pie safe, a rare gem, diverges from the traditional pine construction. Crafted with meticulous attention to detail, it showcases a rare elegance not often seen in such utilitarian pieces. The use of walnuts throughout, including in the secondary wood, speaks to its origin, likely being in regions abundant with walnut trees. Despite its utilitarian purpose, this pie safe stands as a beautiful example of American craftsmanship.
The Ohio River, that is Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, where there's still a great abundance of walnut at that time.
It reflects both its functionality and the aesthetic sensibilities of its time, and at auction would fetch...
Today, this in the auction market would bring around $5,000 to $7,000, and
is a piece with a fascinating design. This molded furniture was crafted by Wendell Castle, who has been referred to as the father of the art furniture movement.
Century design, and very interesting in Wendell Castle's work.
These chairs showcase Castle's innovative designs, like the Moeller chair and the Castle chair. With their distinctive shapes and vibrant colors, these pieces reflect Castle's mastery of form and material. Despite their factory production, their limited availability adds to their appeal and is worth,
I would say colorful examples are probably about $1,200 to $1,800. The black one maybe a little bit less.
Wow.
1933 Century of Progress World's Fair in Chicago, our guest's grandmother purchased this artifact.
My grandmother bought it at the 1933 Chicago World's Fair.
It's a Spartan Bluebird radio created and designed by Walter Dorwin Teague. Walter, an American industrial designer, architect, illustrator, writer, and entrepreneur, is widely regarded as the Dean of Industrial Design. He played a pivotal role in establishing industrial design as a profession in the United States. Among his notable designs is the impeccable design of this radio, featuring cobalt blue glass, although other versions came in peach glass. While it shows some signs of wear, when refurbished to its original state, this piece could sell for at least,
in this condition as is, $2,000.
Part of this set of jewelry tells a story of opulence and sophistication. Originating from this guest's great-aunt, the items on display are breathtaking. These pieces of jewelry are Art Deco jewelries. One of them is an engraved rock crystal adorned with seed pearls and diamonds. Additionally, there is a neoclassical scene engraved on the piece. In superb condition and of high quality, this piece is estimated to be worth.
The diamond pendant necklace may be European. This is much more in the European taste. And in terms of the diamond ring, there are no hallmarks on that either. It was manufactured in the United States as well.
The second item featured is an Art Deco bracelet encrusted with diamonds, estimated to be worth.
First item here, the fair market value on this would be between $5,000 and $7,000 on the necklace.
Another item is a brooch with a Ceylon sapphire. Because this item is adorned with precious stones, it would fetch a significant value of.
The sapphire and diamond brooch, value on this would be between $10,000 and $15,000.
Wow.
We are also presented with an Art Deco necklace made from natural pearls with a diamond clasp. When valued in the auction market, this piece would accrue a value of.
The pearl necklace would be between $20,000 and $25,000.
Lastly, a diamond ring was showcased, with a large elongated stone with clean-cut corners. The quality and provenance of this piece places its value at auction to be.
Our valuation for that at auction would be between $70,000 and $90,000.
Wow.
I really appreciate your bringing them in today.
Titled Aspen's Logan Canyon, Utah, by Bergen Sandezes. Created in 1927. It was purchased by the guest's aunt from the artist himself when he visited as a guest artist at Utah State University. The painting had an inscription on the back noting its provenance and the artist's association with Utah and Kansas. Berger Sandezes was a Swedish artist who came to America and settled in Kansas. He was trained in Sweden and Paris, and his style was characterized by thick, textured paint and vibrant colors. The painting was an example of American post-impressionism and had been compared to Van Gogh's style.
Lindsborg, Kansas.
Oh, I see.
And then this would be the inscription by your aunt?
Yes.
Is that correct?
She made a note on there.
And it says, guest professor at Utah State University.
Due to Sanzen's growing popularity and the increasing interest for him in Western and regional American art, the appraiser estimated its value at.
I think you could expect it to sell in the range of between $30,000 and $50,000.
Oh, my goodness.
Is a piece of political folk art from the middle of the 19th century featuring the slogan, God and Our Native Land, reflecting the emphasis on native-born candidates.
It's related to the Know Nothing political movement.
Yes. The Know Nothings were a political group in the middle of the 19th century.
Associated with the Know Nothings anti-immigrant group indicated by a note inscribed in pencil reading, "This belongs to the Know Nothings, June 1854.
The Know-Nothings were a political group in the middle of the 19th century. It was xenophobia. They wanted to keep immigrants out of this country. Cities were flooding with...
The Know-Nothings were a political movement driven by xenophobia. This artifact provides a glimpse into a less savory aspect of American political history. Despite the dark theme, the artwork is finely painted and in good condition.
About $2,500.
Very nice.
We unveil two ancient treasures, both family heirlooms passed down to our guest. Dating back to the 1850s, these items are exquisite French porcelain creations by Jacob Petit, a renowned French porcelain manufacturer.
In the middle of last century, there were several porcelain makers active mostly in Paris and the Paris area in the 1840s and 50s and 60s.
One of the treasures is a French clock, adorned with delicately painted rosy cheeks on one side.
These are typical of the work of Jacob Petit. They're not marked, but if we look at some of the features on the clock.
And featuring artistic iconography depicting a fighter holding a sculptor's mallet. The other is a jardiniere, crafted with the same fascinating porcelain material. Despite their remarkable condition, these pieces hold sentimental value rather than monetary value, yet they are sure to bring,
perhaps because you didn't touch it as a child,
Right.
would have a value of no more than about $800 to perhaps $1,200. And the jardiniere, I suspect a little less, under $1,000, but more than $700.
Mother bought this glass vase about 30 years ago in Chicago for $5 from a neighbor's garage sale. The vase, made by Fritz Heckert circa 1895, is from Petersdorf, Bohemia, which is now located in Germany. It bears the initials of Fritz Heckert and his chief decorator, Max Raid. Vase features an iridized surface and intricate enamel decoration. Elaborate tulips and a stylized sunburst motif adorn the vase. These motifs are typical of Eastern European decoration, which increase value at auction.
We'd probably pay between $1,500 and $2,000 for this piece of glass.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I'm glad that you took
Good
it
investment.
Currently, its value has decreased to a range between $600 and $800. This is a candle stand, also called a folding table because the top folds. It was inherited by the guest's grandmother in the early 1940s. It is a classic table with a dish top, a birdcage mechanism that allows it to spin, and a compressed ball with a flare above, coming down to the cabriole legs with articulated claw and ball feet.
It's got this tension in it, and if we tip this top up and look at the underside, Margaret, the underside and the base is really an archaeological site that's pretty much undisturbed.
This piece has an original key that holds the whole birdcage mechanism together. At the bottom, there's an iron spider to hold the legs stable, and a wonderful rose head, hand-hammered nails.
And you see that little line right there? That's the original scribe line to mark out this foot, and the original circle is there made with a compass. So this is just records all the tool marks of the original maker in Philadelphia.
Only a few American candle stands with this type of shaft have claw and ball feet versus pad. And based on the quality of this piece, its current value is estimated at...
Because of its rarity, I would put it, I would have a price of about $150,000 on it.
You've got to be kidding. You have got to be kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Showcased a Shadona, acquired by him and his wife in Japan. This piece was executed in the Meihei period between 1868 and 1911. The raised lacquer design is called takamaki, and it has a high gold content. The Meihei Shodana served both practical and aesthetic purposes, providing a dedicated space for the storage and display of tea ceremony implements, while also serving as a beautiful piece of furniture that added to the ambiance of the tea room. The quality of the workmanship of this piece is remarkable, adding to its value and appeal to collectors. Despite its humble appearance at auction, this item would fetch a princely sum of...
This piece would bring probably between $10,000 and $15,000 at auction.
That all?
Is that all? That's quite a bit.
This piece is an alabaster painting that belongs to the guest's grandparents. It is an interesting piece called the retablo, a painting which venerates a saint, and in this particular instance, the Virgin Mary. It is a very rare form of art which originated in Mexico in the 16th century, and the tradition worked its way to South America, mainly in Peru, where sculptures are carved from alabaster.
There are two different versions of the Virgin Mary. And the Virgen del Cobre, the Virgin of Copper in Cuba, is one version, as well as this version here, the Virgin of Consolation, where she's in a boat in a Spanish galleon.
This piece depicts religious and historical scenes which serve as a form of storytelling aimed at preserving cultural and historical narratives for future generations.
Is missing some of the dedicatory taste, which actually gives the story of how the Virgin of Consolacion was venerated.
This piece is a very rare artwork in its original frame, with its support being alabaster versus copper, or canvas, adding to its value and placing it in a very rare category. However, the true value of this piece reveals itself in its auction value of...
I would give this painting a value of $10,000 to $15,000.
Oh my.
Thank you for coming in and sharing
Well,
this with
thank
us.
you very much.
Thank you.
It's from her aunt, who had purchased them for. These prints are by two artists. Hiroshi Yoshida, a renowned Japanese artist, was famous for producing atmospheric and beautiful woodblock prints. Surprisingly, his prints were amazing because each color in them was produced from a separate block of wood, carved specifically for a particular ink. The other artist is Kawase Hasui, who also shared a similar style. The prints have been well preserved. For insurance purposes, their values would range from...
For insurance purposes, the values would range from $2,000 to $3,000, maybe even $4,000 each.
And for retail, the entire group would likely sell for...
The group is easily going to be $20,000 to $30,000.
Really?
For insurance purposes.
Oh, my little aunt.
So your aunt did a good thing.
It's a Russian wolfhound piece, also known as a borzoi. It's the work of the renowned Russian jeweler Karl Fabergé. Fabergé's signature is visible at the bottom. The Russian statement on it, "From your grateful patient," means it was given to a doctor by a patient. The silver dog dates back to around 1890 to 1910. As it resembles a ruler, it might have been part of a desk set. The guest received it as a gift from her parents. With Fabergé's craftsmanship behind it, at auction,
I would feel in a well-advertised auction, we're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $15,000.
It was a nice present.
It's a very nice present.
Yeah.
Guest brought these figurines to auction. He didn't know they were so valuable. They were highly sought-after, hand-painted Royal Dalton figurines. Considering Royal Dalton a luxury brand of ceramics and tableware, rarity is key in determining their worth. These were the rare ones indeed. The appraiser suggested they were worth at least $2,000 to $3,000 each. The guest was surprised and grateful for the appraisal. Brought a captivating trio of beloved family timepieces to the show, and now let's uncover their stories. The first one is a wristwatch made in 1905 by Tiffany & Company. It's a beautiful woman's wristwatch with a Greek key motif. Another piece is an 1860s Petite Philippe pocket watch adorned with blue cobalt enamel and diamonds. The central diamond is particularly striking, and the watch's bow is original. The third watch is a Jules Jurgensen minute repeater from the 1890s. It boasts a unique glass cover for viewing the repeating mechanism.
A minute repeater gives an audio noise to let them know through a series of bells and chimes the exact time.
The Tiffany & Company wristwatch is valued between $3,000 to $4,000, while the Petite Philippe pendant watch is estimated at $7,000 to $8,000.
Whoa. And the Jules Jurgensen minute repeater at $12,000.
Wow.
The value of these watches has increased to $38,000 over time.
These aren't just empty containers. They hold stories from faraway places and times long past. The guest's great-grandfather, a successful businessman from early 20th century Pittsburgh, possessed a European vase possibly obtained during his extensive travels. The appraiser praised the vase because it was special among many others made by Royal Bonn. They liked its hand-painted decoration, which reminded them of the style of the famous Liberty Company from England. The vase had bright colors and a fancy design, showing off the best of decorative art from that time. Even though the vase came from Europe, it still held importance in the family's American history. What stood out were its perfect condition and careful craftsmanship, shown by the detailed design and how everything worked together nicely. While recognizing the historical significance of the vase, the appraiser said,
"So we're pretty excited about this. Most royal bond is $300, $400, $500 on a good day. My friend Nick Dawes said you can name your price on this one, but we're thinking $2,000 to $3,000 is pretty safe on this piece."
Storytelling through photographs were to be awarded. Then these Civil War photographs taken by
story because these were originally issued during the 1860s.
Matthew Brady would undoubtedly win the prize. These stereographs were captured during the Civil War and were initially distributed in the 1860s. These specific photographs were captured later in the course of the Civil War, and this is confirmed by their printing on large orange cards.
And you can tell the difference because the earlier ones were on yellow cards.
As representations of a crucial period in American history, these stereographs would auction for...
Start flipping through here and you have several $1,000s worth of cards here. And you think you might have more, right?
Yeah, Dad said there's more in the shoebox.
Well, congratulations, you got quite a...
Siblings received a package of illustrations from their father, possibly submissions to magazines like Good Housekeeping. The illustrations were by James Montgomery Flagg, who sold his first piece to St. Nicholas magazine at just 12 years old. This pencil drawing features a family with their parents, published in Good Housekeeping magazine with a date and installation number.
It is signed James Montgomery Flagg and also tells us a bit about his sense of humor.
The illustrations were signed James Montgomery Flagg, hinting at his humor. The siblings found two more early 20th century American images, perhaps for magazines like Good Housekeeping, Liberty, or Cosmopolitan. They discovered that the illustrations were icons of American illustration circa World War I.
Pointing and wanting you. They're icons of American illustration circa World War I. It was in fact one of 45 or I think 46 illustrations that he did for the war.
Among them was one of 45 or 46 illustrations crafted for the war, which also found use during World War II. Flagg's illustrations, known for patriotic themes, served as propaganda during both World Wars. His bold lines, strong colors, and dynamic energy made his illustrations instantly memorable.
Images about America circa early 20th century. Perhaps this was something that was used again for Good Housekeeping or Liberty or Cosmopolitan. And this terrific one, oh, I shouldn't have eaten those popovers.
In awe of its historical significance and artistic brilliance, the appraiser valued the item.
And I would value this group at between $8,000 and $10,000.
Wow, that's very nice.
Mary print holds a surprising value. Originally gifted to the guest's grandfather and later deemed unsuitable for decoration by his mother, the artwork received a second look thanks to the owner's wife, an art teacher. Her keen eye recognized the signature of renowned artist Winslow Homer and the title Perils of the Sea, sparkling further investigation. This isn't just any print. It is a rare etching from 1888, part of a series depicting the perilous nature of life at sea.
Very dramatic painting showing, man's battle with the sea.
Only 100 copies of this specific etching were ever produced, and they sold out quickly due to the artist's immense popularity. The piece is in exceptional condition and is testament of Homer's enduring fame. This combination placed the estimated auction value at a staggering.
At auction, I would estimate it at $20,000 to $30,000.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I think it would sell very well.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
This lamp has illuminated guests' family history for generations. Fruits, berries, and leaves are made of colorful glass and are beautifully arranged in a vase.
And look at this, if the top doesn't lift right off, so we can look at the top of it.
Colors are a clue to its maker. Czechoslovakian glass factories were famous for their vibrant hues. This lamp features reds, ambers, and several shades of green. Each piece is free-blown, partly molded, and attached to a metal framework. Beading adds extra dimension when the lamp is lit. Glass resembles a basket with no markings on the bottom. There's an indentation for the wire to come through. It is likely from the 1920s, and Czechoslovakian glass from this period has become very collectible. This piece could fetch up to...
Now now, I think $1,000 is not really too much to expect
Oh, my
for a piece
goodness.
like this.
Updated value of it is $600 to $900. Show by a guest. The showcased violin was identified as a high-quality French instrument crafted by Amédée Dieudonné. He was a respected French luthier, known for his craftsmanship and influence on the violin-making tradition. His instruments were highly prized for their quality and were sought after by both musicians and collectors. The violin exhibited exquisite craftsmanship featuring delicate edges. Each Dieudonné instrument possessed a unique personality, characterized by its playful yet clean sound. Dating back to the mid-1920s, the violin was appraised with a retail value of,
and I would give it a retail value of between $9,000 and $10,000.
No!
arguably one of the best woodcut artists of the early 20th century.
We bought it in Santa Fe in June of 1970. And I still have the original bill of sale.
These woodcut prints by Gustav Baumann exude sheer knowledge and expertise. Top artists have been known to leave their signature, and with this being no different.
He was in a bar in Chicago and met a friend there, and he was talking to this fellow, and he said, I just got back from New Mexico, and you really should go there. It's a wonderful place.
Baumann cements his superiority with his original orange ink stamp. For prints that were made around the 1920s, their condition is top-notch, and this is owing to the quality over quantity mantra of top artists like Gustav. Woodcut designs are not easily made, and for this reason, these designs auction at
auction today, conservatively, I would expect this to sell for around $10,000. So you've done quite well with it over 30 years.
Thank you, and have a smart wife.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to have something always of local interest on the show.
For heaven's sake. Well,
So
thank you
for bringing it
very
in.
much. Thank you, Todd. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Inherited a banjo from their uncle, who had been part of a musical group with their father and aunt. It was identified as a Fairbanks White Lady No. 7 banjo, renowned for its high-grade quality. The banjo had a stunning bump case, characteristic of banjo making around 1910. The appraiser highlighted the item's unique White Lady tone ring, a significant innovation introduced around 1902 for superior sound quality. Made in 1908 or 1909 by the premier banjo company Fairbanks in Boston, it represented its distinctive tone and craftsmanship. The banjo boasted remarkable features, including an exquisitely carved heel, intricately engraved inlays, and tortoiseshell cord celluloid material. Notably, it also sported a presentation plate, suggesting it was custom-made for Mrs. Edward L. Hitchcock. Additionally, its stunning engraved inlays showcased intricate designs like griffin motifs. The banjo's pristine condition and exceptional craftsmanship gave it significant value.
This is probably worth about at least $8,000.
Wow.
And an enthusiast might pay a bit more.
Wow.
It could reach as high as $10,000 in the right situation.
Wow.
This Carlson painting was given to the guest by his grandmother. It was drawn by the famed John Fabian Carlson. This painting is a perfect depiction of nature in its magnificence. John was known to be a painter who liked to explore the locales of New York and Virginia, and this is probably where he got his inspiration from. John was also trained in the Woodstock School of Art, which is likely how he came on to become an expert painter. At an auction, this exquisite nature painting would auction at,
I would say for insurance value about $60,000.
Oh my gosh, it's more than I would have guessed.
Auction focuses on the renowned beat writer William Burroughs, known for his influential works and association with literary figures like Kerouac and Ginsberg. However, there's a unique local Kansas connection to Burroughs through the owner's father-in-law.
Ginsberg and so on, but he also had a local Kansas connection and background.
The collection includes signed and inscribed books, a picture of Burroughs with George, and
But then you have this T-shirt, and this really fascinated me, particularly pointing out these 3 holes. What are those? How did they get there?
These holes were made in preparation for a show where similar T-shirts would be sold, making this piece even more significant given Burroughs' controversial past involving a shooting incident in Mexico. The collection also features a piece of PVC pipe painted by Burroughs from his series, The Naked Angels, given as a gift to George. Along with the books and the t-shirt, the entire collection could fetch a value of...
So you have a collection here that's probably worth $7,000 to $10,000 at a minimum, but the story with it is absolutely wonderful.
Fascinating item is a painting by a well-known Filipino artist, Fernando Amorisolo. Created in 1945, it portrays a quintessential Filipino scene, showcasing peasants engaged in daily activities amidst a picturesque natural environment. This was given to the guest father as a gift after his service in Manila during World War II. Amorisolo, renowned for his artistic style, often depicted idealized versions of everyday life and masterfully incorporated light effects into his paintings. This particular piece exemplifies both of these qualities. The artwork boasts Amorisolo's signature and the significant date of 1945, placing it within the peak of his career. While the guest inherently considered it to have minimal value due to its age, this is a valuable example of Amorisolo's work. At auction, this piece is worth
a very nice example of his work in that it might bring between $30,000 and $50,000 at auction.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.